Today, I present a solo duo base built around the unlootable trapped loot room concept. The primary goal was to have at least 3 walls to main loot and best protection for the TC while keeping the base affordable. The design centers around a hexagon core which keeps costs down but protects from at least 20 plus rockets. The base features 2 airlocks with shooting ports, a hallway circling around the core which you can adjust to your needs, a well-protected core with 4-way unlootable trapped loot rooms. Shout out to Crunchy for discussing, testing and iterating through the loot room design with me. An auto turret placed in a spot where it's impossible to destroy with splash damage, and a hidden TC that takes at least 24 rockets to reach. Because I optimized the design for efficiency, the build requires a starter base. Here I used a slightly updated version of my mini fort. You'll find a link to the build video in the description. The airlock uses a tried and tested cell door double door airlock. If you don't have the blueprint, simply use 2 double doors or a chain link fence gate. The first floor has windows to check for door campers. The second floor has shooting ports to fight them from a hard to loot position. Upgrade them to sheet metal if you're worried about spear raiding, but I would not recommend that. You do not want to discourage raiding through doors. The whole outer ring of the second floor serves as living space. Here you keep all your items and the least important loot. The entrance to the core is located in front of the workbenches. In my test raids, raiders had difficulties using rockets because the workbenches denied them the space to stay clear of the splash damage. The second floor loot rooms are usable honeycomb, which can be breached with 12 plus rockets. The campfire allows to access those boxes up here without problems. The wood shutter makes sure that raiders don't see the shotgun traps too early. Another 2 undrainable shotgun traps guard the drop down. Down the ladder we find the most secure loot rooms. These are protected by at least 3 walls, 2 sheet, 1 stone from all angles. More shotgun traps make short work of any raider that is foolish enough to fall into the chute, which happened in 4 out of 5 raid tests. The bottom is guarded by an auto turret which is placed to be out of reach for any splash damage. The TC is hidden in the back behind bulletproof glass, so it takes at least 24 rockets to reach it. The window is easy to replace and repair. In this video, I'm building the main footprint by extending 5 square foundations out from the starter base. This is not necessary, but it allows to maintain the main base from the starter base's TC in case raiders destroy the main TC. Build the core hexagon and add another triangle on each side. Then fill the gaps in with additional triangles. I already upgraded the foundations of the core and the inner honeycomb to sheet metal, so you can better see where the sheet metal walls will go. However, if you're low on metal while you're building this, then make them stone and upgrade them later. Next, we're going to place the TC. You first need to disconnect the starter base from the footprint, then pick one of the triangles of the core hexagon for the TC. Consider picking a different one than I did to make it harder for raiders who have seen the video. Once you collected about 12k stone and 3k metal fragments, we built the outer wall so you can work on the core in peace. We need stairs because the entrance will be on the second floor. Surround the whole first floor with stone walls. Repeat the same for the second floor, but make sure to place 2 doorways at opposite sides. Then build a ring of triangle floors. I recommend sheet metal as it may force raiders to choose between raiding the first or the second floor. Add another ring of triangle floors as ceiling. And close the base off with 6 roofs. To be able to get in and out of the first floor, place this temporary twig construction. Next, we're going to fill in the honeycomb, upgrade the back of the TC to armored first, place metal walls on the side of the metal foundations and stone wall in the middle of the 2 stone foundations. Complete the honeycombing by placing 5 more metal walls around the hexagon. If you're lucky and got your hand on an auto turret, place it in front of the TC. You can place it later if you haven't found one yet. Next, we're going to build the first trap loot room. Zed showed me the possibility to raise objects by placing them on carpets, and here I use this trick to raise the shotgun trap so it's less obstructed by the low wall. Make sure that the shotgun trap is well centered. If you still have trouble placing the box, try to remove the carpets before placing them again. Optionally, place a second shotgun trap per loot room to give raiders less time to react. And if you haven't done it yet, pick up the carpets to reuse them for the construction of other loot rooms. The shotgun trap will stay floating. Only place this low wall after you deployed an auto turret. Thanks to the ceiling, it's very hard to reach items behind the low walls. However, if you place a campfire and crouch onto it, you can reach them easily. Before building the upper level of the first floor loot room, upgrade the other wall of the TC to armored. Then again, use carpets to align and raise the center shotgun trap. If you can, upgrade these ceilings to armored, as it forces raiders to go through the chute. Now we secure the entrance to the core. This forces raiders to enter the core through this half-height entrance and funnels them into the kill zone of the traps. These 2 traps are the first line of defense and should prove difficult to bypass. Here I had trouble placing the left box until I removed the carpets. Again, the second trap is optional, it should not make too much of a difference to leave it out. Note that the loot room closest to the entrance does not contain any traps. We do not want to make raiders aware of the traps too early. This trap needs to be connected to the ceiling because we're going to use a window instead of low walls. Again, the rationale is to hide the traps from the raiders' eyes, so they are more likely to die from the 2 shotgun traps below the entrance, which leaves their bodies in a much harder to loot position. Place a ladder to get out of the lower loot rooms. You need to duck while jumping in order to get out. Now we compartmentalize the outer ring. Place a double door every 3 triangles. I do not recommend to use garage doors, as they might make raiders decide to brute force raid the base through walls. We want to avoid this because this renders the traps ineffective. More campfires help to reach all the boxes with ease. If you get your hands on a garage door, place one here in the center. However, then it might make sense to upgrade these walls to armored. With the core completed, we build the airlocks. Since we have the blueprint, we use bulletproof windows. They are cheaper than shop fronts. For the second floor, we use these shooting ports as they are perfect for closer range engagements. I did not upgrade them to sheet metal on purpose. Yes, they can be spear rated, but I prefer raiders to go through doors. The airlock is not meant to be part of the honeycombing anyway. Build a copy of that airlock on the other side of the base. Now we're going to turn the starter base into an anti-grief unit. This means even if raiders get the main TC, the building privilege from the starter base still covers the main base. Consider removing these doors just right at the entrances, as they do not add much protection but limit mobility. The outer ring can house all the items you need. If placed well, you get perfect mobility. The way I place these items only serves as an example, to place them however you see fit. If you accumulate a lot of material, there are lots of ways of making the base even stronger. Upgrade the outer walls to metal, replace the double doors with garage doors, add another layer of honeycomb, as long as you can still afford the upkeep. May the base bring you safely through the wipe. Evil Wurst out.